I'm Gillian Triggs and I'm the Assistant High Commissioner for Protection at the United Nations Refugee Agency. We have an unprecedented number of refugees, at least 30 million or more, seeking protection across national boundaries. So the sheer volume is unprecedented. The number of conflicts we have globally. The war in Ukraine, obviously, 8 million moving out of Ukraine for protection. Then we have the earthquake, we have the social and economic consequences of the COVID pandemic, which of course has economic outcomes for the most vulnerable in the community, including people displaced in their own country and refugees. So there are many challenges, and the most recent of them, perhaps at least over the last few years, has been the growing impact of climate change. That drought, floods, cyclones, rising sea levels are having an impact on the movement of people seeking protection. Well, we see parliamentarians as one of the most vital groups in society because they are elected in democratic systems. They are capable, they have the power within Parliament to promote laws and policies which will enable refugees to have the rights that they are guaranteed under the Refugee Convention. The right to freedom of movement, to work, to access to health care, for women to have equal opportunities, non-discrimination. All of these rights come under the law, and parliamentarians are in the best position really to ensure that those laws and policies are consistent with international obligations. The question of nationality is a matter for national laws, obviously, and parliamentarians are again very, very powerful in the sense that they can persuade governments and pass laws to ensure that children, for example, born within that country have access to birth registration and to nationality within that country. There are some countries that have discriminatory laws where women are not allowed to pass on their nationality to their children, only the husband can, and parliamentarians are able to pass laws which make it non-discriminatory and equal for women and men to pass on their nationality to their children. In so many efforts at peace, women are not included. They're not at the table. But where they have been included, there's growing research that shows that the peace agreement is much more likely to be successful if a woman is involved in the negotiations for that peace agreement. And I think it underscores the point that women operate very usually at the community, at the local level, and they are the ones who can actually make sure that you have community harmony and that the terms of a peace agreement can be met. So we, of course, strongly argue for an equal place at the table for peace negotiations and for peace agreements. I think the message would be, please use your very considerable authority, power, credibility as elected representatives to understand the plight of people who've been forced to flee from their country seeking protection. It imposes an obligation, of course, on host countries, but you as parliamentarians, as politicians, can ensure that there's a sharing of responsibility for those people until it's safe for them to return home.